And so we proceed with the second Egyptian god card, Ketramos of the New Dawn. God of hope, God of endurance, God of the living, and God of the honored dead. Once I have harnessed his strength, only one Egyptian god card will remain until I have the power I need to purge this earth of all mono-red players. Let the game begin. Your move. Mono-red again. Why am I not surprised? Luckily, I already have the perfect card in hand to mount my defense. I'll play my land for turn, and then cast forth the authority of the consoles. You see, so long as this enchantment remains on the battlefield, every time one of your creatures enter, it will enter tapped, meaning it won't be able to attack that same turn, even if it has haste, shutting down a core component of the mono-red strategy. Additionally, each time one of your creatures enter, I will also gain 1 life point, regaining any damage you've already done. It's only turn 1, and I already have the perfect defense mounted. Let's see what you've got, mono-red. Land. Challenger. Normally attacks with haste, but my authority has shut that right down and upped my life points back up to 20. My move. I'll play my land for turn, and then I'll pass it back to you. I can either hold open a removal spell, or I can draw 1 card and gain 2 life. Depends how they play it. Another challenger enters tapped. Let's see how quickly they pass here. 2 attacks, to blocks. I'm not so sure they have the rage this time. I'll mount my attack back with the Anoint of Affliction, exiling your challenger. Not even a reanimation spell will be able to get it back. There's definitely stick here, but there's no monstrous rage. So they must be holding open a burst lightning for one of our creatures. No matter. I will proceed. Ketramos of the New Dawn, I summon you, my Egyptian god card! Not only is Ketramos a 4/4 creature with menace, lifelink, and indestructible, additionally, every time I exile a card, I will lose 1 life and draw an additional card. Initially, this life point will cost me, especially against mono-red, but over time I will accrue enough cards to take over the game. Furthermore, once I have exiled 7 or more cards, I turn on my Ketramos, enabling him to attack and block as a 4/4 with lifelink and indestructible, enabling me to regain any life lost over the card draw period. It's only a matter of time until I take over this game. Your move. No, it can't be. Not the Screaming Nemesis. That's one of the worst possible cards we could see here. Not only is it a 3-mana 3/3 with haste, meaning it hits hard by itself, it has the additional text that whenever it is dealt damage, it can redirect that damage to any other target, meaning even if I did cast my 4-mana 4/5 Beza next turn, it tried to block it, the Nemesis would simply redirect the damage back to the Beza, causing them both to die and me only net even on the trade, even though I invested more mana into my card. But it gets worse. If you thought you could just play around that by not blocking, you're wrong. Because my opponent can simply use his own burn spells on the Nemesis. If he uses Burst Lightning, or Lightning Strike, or Witchstalker Frenzy on his own Nemesis, he can still redirect the damage to my life total, shutting off my life gain for the rest of the game. If I don't answer this now, he could very well win. Alright, 3 more points of damage, down to 17. The Flanker. If I cast it now on my own turn, even though it has Flash, I could guarantee I get the life gain now, before he shuts it off for good. It would also let me scry and set up the next 2 turns of draws. Come on, deck. Show me what I need. That's perfect. A land and a removal spell. If I can survive 1 more turn without him using Shock or Burst Lightning on his own Nemesis, I could walk out of this alive. Okay, he goes for the Heartfire Hero, allowing me to gain a life. So he must not have the Shock or Burst Lightning in hand, otherwise you would do it beforehand to ensure I don't get the life gain. Another creature, I'll go up another life. He must not have it. It looks like I'll get 1 more shot at this. Whatever that card is in hand, I know it's not Shock or Burst Lightning. It is Shock. He goes for the creature. All he had to do was target the Nemesis and redirect the damage to my life total. Then for the rest of the game, I wouldn't be able to regain a single life, completely shutting down all the upside of Ketramos and leaving it as a liability to drain me out. But now, I actually have a chance here. Go ahead, Mono Red, do your worst. I'll take 6 damage. Drop down to 13, but I have the removal spell and the land is on top. Either way I order it, I'll draw a card off the Ketramos hitting the next land drop, and I'll be able to double spell this turn, for sure. I'll start with Cease and Desist and take the shock out of the graveyard, or perhaps even 2 spells out of my own graveyard. Yes, that would get me closer to my Ketramos 7 I need. This will then cause me to gain 2 life off the Cease, then lose a life off the Ketramos, but draw 1 more card into the land I left on top, as well as a deadly cover-up. Now I have to anoint with Affliction. If I leave it to my opponent's turn, even though he made a mistake last turn, he might not slip again. If I get rid of the Nemesis now, I guarantee it's dead for good, and he won't have the option to shock or burst lightning it again. It's a risky move. If I waited, I could potentially go for the blowout. But who's to say if he'll make the same mistake twice in a row? It has to be done. The Nemesis. It must go. Down to 13. Lose a life, draw a card off the exile down to 12. If I can hit 1 more land, I can sweep the entire board with my deadly cover-up. I just need 1 more turn, another Nemesis. But it's too late. I already have the answer. I just need 1 more land, and there it is! It's over, Mono Red. You had your chance and you blew it. I cast my deadly cover-up. You see, normally this would destroy all creatures, including my own. But because my Egyptian God card is indestructible, it'll be the only thing left standing. Furthermore, if I collect Evidence 6, meaning exiling up to 6 mana value from my graveyard, I can trigger Deadly Cover-Up's additional ability. Not only will I destroy all creatures, but I'll also be able to look through your graveyard and pick 1 card. I can then get rid of that card from your entire deck, hand, and library, so it's never possible to play against me again. Here we go. Deadly Cover-Up. Sweep the board. Exile Cease and Desist as the fuel to your slaughter. I draw off Ketramos, I destroy their entire board, and now I make my selection. I could take away the rest of the Nemesises from their deck. That wouldn't be a bad decision, as then they wouldn't be able to fling it at my life total and shut off my life gain. But, since all their creatures enter tapped, taking a haste creature maybe isn't the best choice. If I instead take all their burn spells like Shock, they won't be able to win through that method, and since all their creatures come in tapped and gain me a life, I think that is the best choice. Next, I'll take the rest of the Shocks out of their deck. That's 1 more reason to hate you. You see, there's a strict upgrade to Shock called Burst Lightning. It was released 4.5 months ago. The fact that you're still playing Shock means you don't even bother to make strict upgrades to your deck, but I digress. We proceed. I've been given it out and I will take it. Ketramos, draw me 1 more card, drop me to 4 life, but then I swing with Lifelink. Back up to 8. I'm almost out of this. Your Hired Claw could normally gain haste off your Rockface Village, but with the authority of the consoles down, that doesn't even matter. Alright, another consoles. I'll play my land for turn, giving me 6 mana to play with here. Most likely, I can use a combination of Cease and Desist and Beza to increase my life total even further and stabilize the board state. By using Cease first, I can exile up to 2 cards from a graveyard that will gain me 2 life, and then off Ketramos' ability, I'll lose a life and draw 1 more card. You had your chance, Mono Red, but now I walk away. Then I'll cast my Beza for 4 mana. Since my life total is less than yours, I will gain 4 more life, and add a 4/5 creature body to the battlefield. That's right, read the trigger. There's nothing you can do to stop me now. Finally, I'll attack. Ketramos, wield Oketra's bow, arrow of the new dawn. And my life total goes up to 18, from 4 to 18 in a matter of 2 turns. Your Swift Spear enters tapped and gains me 1 more life, up to 19. It's all but over. That's right. Send your Hired Claw to the slaughter. Beza, it's your time. Eat this pathetic creature. Subsist off its foolish life. And so, my ascension is nearly complete. With 2 Egyptian god cards under my belt, only one remains before I have the power I need. And once I have it, I will purge this earth of all mono-red players.